Okay. Let's go through this real quick. Huh? All right. So let's do this real quick. Well, I think real quick that I get it. You guys are doing the boop noise or whatever, like the bleep noise. This is H comma K. The inflection point is H comma K. They don't want me to do this because we kind of have like an early release day. So then I know that H is equal to -2. I know that K is equal to -2. So what I'm going to do is I got to solve for A. Okay. So I'm going to plug in some x's and y's. So I'm going to say that y is equal to A times the quantity x minus -2 raised to the third power minus 2. And what I'm doing is I'm plugging in my h and k, right? So this is k and this is my h. So then this becomes y is equal to A times the quantity x plus 2 cubed minus 2. No, I'm not. Hold on. And so then what I need to do is I need to find an x and a y. Well, they give us an x and a y right here. So I'm going to plug those in. Wherever there's a y, I put a positive 1. Wherever there's an x, I put a -1. And now I have a bunch of numbers and an a. So the first thing I'm going to do is, what's 2 minus 1? 1. What's 1 cubed? 1 cubed is 1. So I got 1 is equal to 1a minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. And I get 3 is equal to a. I'm going to double check this real quick in my fancy teacher book here. I'm going too fast while you were goofing around when I started writing things down. That's your problem. Yeah, you were. You kept going boop, 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 and then you were giggling. Ha, 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 ha. Whatever you were saying, you weren't paying attention. Write it down. Go. You will learn math today. This little thingy? Sure. I can zoom out a little bit too, I think. So I'm just double checking to make sure. Oh, I don't need the math textbook, although I do have the answer now. For number 5, yeah, I'm correct. So that is correct. So I say g of x, right, is equal to 3 times the quantity x plus 2 cubed minus 2. So yeah, I did the math right. But there's another way to double check that too. What I could do is I could pull that up in my calculator. And don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself. You're the one that goofed around. I know. So I'm going to plug in 3. I'm going to move the screen in a second. Plus 2, close the parentheses, raised to the third power, minus 2. And so when I hit the graph here, I'm going to just double check a couple things. We said that when x was -1, y was 1. We also said that when x was -2, y was -2. We also, which you don't see, but when I say x is equal to -3, y is equal to -5. So let me move my face out of the way and take a picture of this. And so there we go. Let me move all this stuff out of the way so you can get back to writing stuff down. So basically, this is the graph of that function, and it hits all the points. Okay? Now, I promise you there will be at least one problem like this on the SAT in May. So as you're writing this down, like all things that you do in school, don't just write it down and go, I wrote it down. Don't convince yourself that you're an expert in it because it kind of makes sense when Mr. Adams does it. You should be asking yourself, can I do this problem on my own without any help 2 months from now? If the answer is no, then we need to practice, ask questions, figure it out. Okay? I'm going to leave that up there for a second so you guys can finish. But by the way, are there any questions? You guys see what I did there? So to recap, I use the graph to get my x and y. I use the graph to get a h and k. When I have h, k, x, y, I have to solve for a. When I plug all those numbers in, I have a bunch of numbers in a. From there, it's just an algebra problem, right? I'm just going to solve for a. On the end of that, I'm going to double check by graphing in my graphing calculator and see if I have the same points on the graph or equation of the graph I just made up and see if it matches the graph that they gave me. It did.